Good evening. Hello, hello. Psychedelic mud chicken, pluvium, hugs, Bobbius. Hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Oh, can you believe it's been since October that I last read this book. Didn't realize it'd been that long. Whoops. But hello So Cute, hello Robert, hello Miko, hello. So, just as a heads up, I know YouTube has some tendencies to shadow ban and just not let messages go through. If you are at any point you think that's occurring, I specifically have my Twitch chat open as well, so that I can see any messages that YouTube might be being a pain about. So I wanted to give the heads up that I'm doing that. But yeah, my Nemesis Puri fan. Save? No, I haven't got anything to save. No, your Nemesis Puri fan. Yeah, it was really weird. He told me he was gonna drop me if I didn't draw annoying orange in my orange VTubers circle color wheel thing. It's really weird. Thank you. The throw does not work across like this. It could, I just don't want it to. And hydrate, I don't have any water. I'm sorry. I'm not doing redeem. This is a reading stream. This is stop it. I'll turn them off. Anyway, yeah, the scarf. Interesting story. By interesting, I mean I have worms instead of a brain. I don't remember what it was. That it was pointed out that my neck looks really long in this outfit. But when I booted up VTube Studio today and just like looked at my model, I just sat there for a while. I was like, oh no. I can't stop looking at how long my neck is. And the thing is, right, I was planning on asking Rai to fix it. It's a really easy fix. You just you just grab my head and you just sink it down like about like just retract it on further into my body. Unfortunately, an incident happened where if we pull it, technically yes. Technically you could probably pull my head off. But please don't. That would be very unpleasant for me, generally. I got distracted. Hold on, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So, the problem is I can't have any adjustments made to to me right now because Rai, my rig artist, his computer, he lost a lot of the files, and therefore all of my rigging is gone. It's gone. He's going to have to redo my movement from scratch. So yeah, I can't. When it gets redone, I can ask for my neck to be like put a little bit more solidly on my body. But yeah, for now, I'm just gonna have this scarf because I'm self-conscious. What's a hello, Para? Hello, music? You gonna? Thank you. I want my dramatic piano in the background. Thank you. Another. You guys need more backups. Yeah. I can't even argue. I have stuff backed up, I think. I can't remember where I backed them up, but they're backed up somewhere, and I'm sure that if I needed to, I could hunt them down. Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, I made backups. Do you guys remember my concert where I thought I was going to explode my computer by using the programs that I used for my concert? I thought my computer was literally going to self-destruct during that stream, so I had everything backed up beforehand. Because seriously, I thought there was a 50-50 chance that just in the middle of that concert, my computer was just gonna go and just burn out. Get Backblaze too? What's Backblaze? I don't know what that is. We need a recap of the story. Shit's fucked. There you go. Now you're now caught up. No, okay. War is peace. Ignorance is something. Is strength. Freedom is slavery. Everything's really messed up. Nothing, the history is false, history is fake, everything is made up. They're eliminating the language so that no one could disagree. Things bad. It's literally 1984. And backups are not... What about the book? Ouch. Oof. Ouch. No, I think backups are important. I just... for some things I like to live dangerously. No, my models are like backed up. I don't know. I'm just gonna hope that it never happens, okay? I've got stuff backed up, but it'd be a real pain in the ass to get everything set back up. I'd be able to piece things back together, but God. It was a joke with the book, I missed it. It wasn't just lies, but reversals. It will happen in time. Don't cast that upon me. Don't say that. Don't wish ill upon my PC. How dare you? Unbelievable. No, my computer is immortal like me. The fun part is discovering what you missed backing up. Yeah, that's actually how Space thought that they lost everything. because they thought that they had backed everything up, and they had actually backed everything up, but they couldn't find most of it at first. Fun times. But yeah, no, I do intend on actually reading. Wow. Who does that? I've never heard of reading before, so I just want to test something. Okay, I'm just gonna end up writing a lot of dots. Okay. What if I click here? Aha! That works nicely. Life is a ephemeral, backup, nothing, live free. It sucks though when you lose a bunch of stuff. It's funny because people are like, oh, you know, be careful what you post, because everything will be on the internet forever, and then it isn't, and then so many things are lost and never found ever again. And one day the internet will disappear, and that will truly be the modern library of Alexandria. Anyway, I do want to get at least one chapter done, so I'm gonna start. If anyone needs to go get some food, some water, some rest, please do feel free. If you are going to head to sleep, you are safe to do so. There will not be any loud sounds, and I do not have redirect abilities on YouTube, so you shall not be awoken by me. If you are busy studying or working, I do hope that goes very well and with as little stress as possible. And for now, if I need to adjust volume or anything, if the background piano is too loud or too quiet, or if I'm too loud or too quiet, let me know and I'll fix stuff. Also, yeah, shout out to the boys at Internet Archive. They be doing important work. Alright. Chapter 6. Winston was writing in his diary. It was 3 years ago. It was on a dark evening, in a narrow side street near one of the big railway stations. She was standing near a doorway in the wall, under a street lamp that hardly gave any light. She had a young face, painted very thick. It was really the paint that appealed to me, the whiteness of it, like a mask, and the bright red lips. Party women never paint their faces. There was no one else in the streets, and no telescreens. She said $2. For the moment, it was too difficult to go on. He shut his eyes and pressed his fingers against them, trying to squeeze out the vision that kept reoccurring. He had an almost overwhelming temptation to shout a string of filthy words at the top of his voice, or to bang his head against the wall, to kick over the table and hurl the inkpot through the window, to do any violent or noisy or painful thing that might black out the memory that was tormenting him. Your worst enemy, he reflected, was your own nervous system. At any moment the tension inside you was liable to translate itself into some visible symptom. He thought of a man whom he had passed in the street a few weeks back. A quite ordinary-looking man, a party member, aged 35 or 40, tallish and thin, carrying a briefcase. They were a few meters apart when the left side of the man's face was suddenly contorted by a sort of spasm. It happened again, just as they were passing one another. It was only a twitch, a quiver, rapid as the clicking of a camera shutter, but obviously habitual. He remembered thinking at the time, that poor devil is done for. And what was frightening was that the action was quite possibly unconscious. The most deadly danger of all was talking in your sleep. There was no way of guarding against that, so far as he could see. He drew in his breath and went on writing. I went with her through the doorway and across a backyard into a basement kitchen. There was a bed against the wall and a lamp on the table, turned down very low. His teeth were set on edge. He would have liked to spit. Simultaneously with the woman in the basement kitchen, he thought of Catherine, his wife. Winston was married, had been married, at any rate. Probably he was still married, but so far as he knew, his wife was not dead. He seemed to breathe again the warm, stuffy odour of the basement kitchen, an odour compounded of bugs and dirty clothes and villainous cheap scent, but nevertheless alluring, because no woman of the party ever used scent, or could be imagined as doing so. Only the proles used scent. In his mind, the smell of it was inextricably mixed up with fornication. When he had gone with that woman, it had been his first lapse in 2 years or thereabouts. Consorting with prostitutes was forbidden, of course, but it was one of those rules that you could occasionally nerve yourself to break. It was dangerous, but it was not a life and death matter. To be caught with a prostitute might mean 5 years in a forced labour camp, not more if you had committed no other offence. It was easy enough, provided that you could avoid being caught in the act. The poorer quarters swarmed with women who were ready to sell themselves. Some could even be purchased for a bottle of gin, which the proles were not supposed to drink. Technically, the party was even inclined to encourage prostitution as an outlet for instincts which could not be altogether suppressed. Mere debauchery could not matter very much, so long as it was furtive and joyless, and only involved the women of a submerged and despised class. The unforgivable crime was promiscuity between party members. But, though this was one of the crimes that the accused in the Great Purges invariably confessed to, it was difficult to imagine any such thing actually happening. The aim of the party was not merely to prevent men and women from forming loyalties which it might not be able to control. Its real, undeclared purpose was to remove all pleasure from the sexual act. Not love so much as eroticism was the enemy, inside marriage as well as outside it. All marriages between party members had to be approved by a committee appointed for the purpose, and, though the principle was never clearly stated, permission was always refused if the couple concerned gave the impression of being physically attracted to one another. The only recognised purpose of marriage was to beget children for the service of the party. Sexual intercourse was to be looked on as a slightly disgusting minor operation, like having an enema. This again was never put into plain words, but in an indirect way it was rubbed into every party member from childhood onwards. There were even organisations such as the Junior Anti-Sex League, which advocated complete celibacy for both sexes. All children were to be begotten by artificial insemination, ARTSEM it was called in Newspeak, and brought up in public institutions. This, Winston was aware, was not meant altogether seriously, but somehow it fitted in with the general ideology of the party. The party was trying to kill the sex instinct, or, if it could not be killed, then to distort it and dirty it. He did not know why this was so, but it seemed natural that it should be so. And so far as the women were concerned, the party's efforts were largely successful. He thought again of Catherine. It must be 9, 10, nearly 11 years since they had parted. It was curious how seldom he thought of her. For days at a time he was capable of forgetting that he had ever been married. They had only been together for about 15 months. The party did not permit divorce, but it rather encouraged separation in cases where there were no children. Catherine was a tall, fair-haired girl, very straight, with splendid movements. She had a bold, aquiline face, a face that one might have called noble, until one discovered there was nearly as possible, nothing behind it. Very early in their married life he had decided, though perhaps it was only that he knew her more intimately than he knew most people, that she had, without exception, the most stupid, vulgar, empty minds that he had ever encountered. She had not a thought in her head that was not a slogan, and there was no imbecility, absolutely none, that she was not capable of swallowing if the party handed it out to her. The human soundtrack, he nicknamed her in his own mind. Yet he could have endured living with her if it had not been for just one thing: sex. As soon as he touched her, she seemed to wince and stiffen. To embrace her was like embracing a jointed wooden image. And what was strange was that even when she was clasping him against her, he had a feeling she was simultaneously pushing him away with all her strength. The rigidity of her muscles managed to convey that impression. She would lie there with shut eyes, neither resisting nor cooperating, but submitting. It was extraordinarily embarrassing, and after a while horrible. But even then he could have borne living with her, if it had been agreed that they should remain celibate. But curiously enough, it was Catherine who refused this. They must, she said, produce a child if they could. So the performance continued to happen, once a week quite regularly, whenever it was not impossible. She used even to remind him of it in the morning, as something which had to be done that evening, and which must not be forgotten. She had two names for it. One was making a baby, and the other was our duty to the party. Yes, she had actually used that phrase. Quite soon he grew to have a feeling of positive dread when the appointed day came around. But luckily, no child appeared, and in the end she agreed to give up trying, and soon afterwards they parted. Winston sighed inaudibly. He picked up his pen again and wrote. She threw herself down on the bed, and at once, without any kind of preliminary, in the most coarse, horrible way you can imagine, pulled up her skirt. He saw himself standing there in the dim lamplight, with the smell of bugs and cheap scent in his nostrils, and in his heart a feeling of defeat and resentment, which even at that moment was mixed up with the thought of Catherine's white body, frozen forever by the hypnotic power of the party. Why did it always have to be like this? Why could he not have a woman of his own, instead of these filthy scuffles at intervals of years? But a real love affair was an almost unthinkable event. The women of the party were all alike. Chastity was as deeply ingrained in them as party loyalty. By careful early conditioning, by games and cold water, by the rubbish that was dinned into them at school and in the spies and the youth league, by lectures, parades, songs, slogans and martial music, the natural feeling had been driven out of them. His reason told him that there must be exceptions, but his heart did not believe it. They were all impregnable, as the party intended that they should be. And what he wanted, more even than to be loved, was to break down that wall of virtue, even if it were only once in his whole life. The sexual act successfully performed was rebellion. Desire was thought crime. Even to have awakened Catherine, if he could have achieved it, would have been like a seduction, although she was his wife. But the rest of the story had got to be written down. He wrote, I turned up the lamp. When I saw her in the light. After the darkness, the feeble light of the paraffin lamp had seemed very bright. For the first time he could see the woman properly. He had taken a step towards her and then halted, full of lust and terror. He was painfully conscious of the risk he had taken in coming here. It was perfectly possible that the patrols would catch him on the way out. For that matter, they might be waiting outside the door at this moment. If he went away without even doing what he had come here to do. It had got to be written down. It had got to be confessed. What he had suddenly seen in the lamplight was that the woman was old. The paint was plastered so thick on her face that it looked as though it might crack like a cardboard mask. There were streaks of white in her hair, but the truly dreadful detail was that her mouth had fallen a little open, revealing nothing except a cavernous blackness. She had no teeth at all. He wrote hurriedly, in scrabbling handwriting. When I saw her in the light, she was quite an old woman, 50 years old at least. But I went ahead and did it just the same. He pressed his fingers against his eyelids again. He had written it down at last, but it made no difference. The therapy had not worked. The urge to shout filthy words at the top of his voice was as strong as ever. Bug smell? Yeah. It said that her room, that the underground basement smelt of dead bugs. Yeah. Compounded of bugs and dirty clothes. Very seductive. Also, I can't smell bugs. I don't know if I ever have, but I feel like there is a smell when like you have like a. I mean, I imagine like if someone has like a cockroach infestation, like that would smell like something, surely, and I would think that would smell like bugs, whatever that did smell like. But I don't know what that smell would be. I've actually never seen a cockroach in the UK. You can only smell bugs when there's enough of them around to be really gross. Gross. Also, I don't agree with the party on it. Suppressing human nature doesn't do any good to the masses. They probably smell of something. I mean, they give off like individually, a lot of insects give off pheromones, right? And obviously in small quantities, obviously humans can't smell that, but I imagine in like larger quantities. But I'm not really willing to stick my face into an ant's nest to find out. Shield bug? Oh yeah. I mean specifically those do smell very strong to ward off predators. You prefer to eradicate the nature? That is not possible without eradicating humanity. And I have no intention of eradicating humanity. Noted. Bedbugs smell too, do they? I've actually never had bedbugs. I'm very grateful for this fact. I think I would never sleep again if I felt like I was sleeping on bedbugs. Yeah. In fact, actually, I'm pretty sure one time I thought that when I was a kid, one of the cats shadow banned again? No, I can see you. Unless only some messages didn't go through. I have YouTube on the TV, I can see it in real time. Oh. Well, feel free to write anything in Twitch chat that YouTube isn't loading through, because I actually have the logged in panel open, so I can even see if something gets blocked by YouTube, but there isn't anything. But yeah, that's why I decided to have Twitch open at the same time now. And I'll try and do this permanently so I can not ignore, or well, it's not ignore because YouTube isn't even showing at me. Ah, can't see anything. But yeah, no. One time my childhood cat had fleas, and I hated them. I hated them. So I cleared out the bottom of my wardrobe, and I just slept on the solid, on the chipboard, which was not enjoyable. The wardrobe was much smaller than, like, the floor of it was not enough space to actually, like, lay down. Was a shitty joke? Oh, okay. How long have you had it? It was years ago. It was years and years and years ago. Back when I was in school, so well over a decade ago. We don't actually, we don't, the cats don't go out. Misty didn't go outside for a long time, for the last few years of her life. And then none of the foster cats, get let out. Oh no, Twitch name. Yeah, no, it's genuinely, like, awful to have them. I remember basically us having to, like, fumigate the entire house. And it was just like, yeah, this house is now a biohazard for the next 48 hours while everything in it dies. Good luck. You have a fun stuff area in the back, don't you? Is it? I mean, cats can jump. Cats are pretty good at jumping up fences. So, the closest we ever did was Daisy, as we got one of those, like, harnesses that you can attach a lead to. But the first thing she did was literally, like, squirm out of it. And Mum had to, like, chase her down. So, unfortunately, no, as much as it would be nice to let the cats out sometimes to, like, burn off energy and stuff, it's not safe to do so. There are other cats in the area, there are lots of dogs in the area, there's big main roads and traffic, so no good. Hold on, I'm actually going to check how to pronounce this word, because this word I feel is going to come up, like, multiple times in the next chapter, and I actually don't know how to say it. How do you...
Prole.
Okay, it's just prole. Derogatory. It's not safe to walk a cat on a lead. They hate it and might attack you. It depends. It depends how young they are when you start. If you get an adult cat and you try and stick a lead on that, yeah, it's probably gonna not be that impressed. It's not gonna be impressed. But if you start putting a harness on it quite young and get it acclimatized to it, like indoors, then it can be fine. It all depends. Like, we couldn't get one on Misty. Misty would have. She barely had any teeth left, but I'm pretty sure she still would have tried to, like, tear throats out in the middle of the night. She didn't even like being picked up. It's actually crazy. All the fosters we've had are, like, so chill with being picked up. Like, even these two that we have at the moment for the rest of the week, like, they're giant. They are big cats, and yet, if you pick them up, they're just like, yeah, don't pick them up for too long. Like, you know, pick them up, move them, put them down. Daisy, you could literally just be like, I'm holding a cat. Check this out. But Misty was like, you could not pick her up. She would immediately, you even make a motion to start trying to pick her up, and she is not having it. Honestly, the battle scars my mum got from trying to get her to the vet was truly, truly something. I miss my cat. I kind of miss Misty. But it's weird to say because she didn't really interact with me very much. But, pets are... It's one of those things. It's important to people. Companion. My dad actually wants to... It's so funny. For years and years and years, my dad was like, "Oh, I'm more of a dog person. I don't want cats. I want a dog. I want a Doberman. I want blah 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 blah." And anyway, he's lived on his own for ages now. Recently he moved into his late father's house, and when I went to see him back in October, he was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking of getting a cat," and I'm like, "What? You've always been like, you know, I'll have a cat if I like have to, kind of thing, and now you want now you want a cat?" He's like, "Yeah, well, I work, so I wouldn't be able to have a dog anyway, but I want a companion." And I'm like, "Okay, that makes sense. I'm just making fun of you," because for years he was like such a, "Yeah, no, I'm a dog person. I like dogs, blah, blah, blah. I only like Misty because she hates other cats." I'm not responsible enough to have one now. I'm actually the type of person that even though I like pets, and like if I visit someone's house, like, you know, I'll give their dog some head pats. I'll give their cat some scritches under the chin. I will stare longingly across the room at the aquarium. But I personally would probably not have a pet. If I did, it would be something like a snake that literally, like, you don't really interact with, like, a whole bunch, and you only feed, like, once a month kind of thing. Like, that's... I don't think I should be responsible for something that needs to be fed every day. But I only just started feeding myself every day about 4 years ago. One of these days I'm gonna stop making excuses and finally get a cat. Best of luck. There's some nice cats out there. Since we've been fostering, it's interesting to meet like different personalities of cats, because my childhood cat, like my really young childhood cat, we only had for a couple years, and then we had Misty just for like 17 years. We literally had Misty for such a long time. It was crazy. So I've never met that many other cats like long term. Tarantula is pretty low maintenance. Yeah, I would worry about the hair flicking, the rashes. Snakes have one way to attack, and that is the teeth. Tarantulas have multiple ways to attack me. I feel like it's easier to get a snake and move it. You said it. I've been practicing. I feel like it's easier to get a snake and like move it into a different like box to then clean out its enclosure. Meanwhile, I think a tarantula would rather I die. To be honest, I'd be like, okay, I need to clean it, and the spider would just be like, "You try and move me, I'm going to end your life." And I'm just gonna be like, "Okay, I'll leave you alone." Hasn't done the hair thing in the 8 years I've had it? Okay. I don't know how common it is for them to do the hair thing, but knowing my look, I'll get one in my eye or some dumb crap like that. The cleaning I just cooks into a smaller box. which could take a while. Yeah, I can't really imagine myself trying to convince a spider to move. Like, Meanwhile, snakes, they're just noodles. I watch a lot of, actually it was really sad, I watch some, like, snake video stuff on YouTube sometimes, and some, like, other lizard stuff, and recently, actually, like, this month, one of my favourite, people to watch that I used to come across, actually passed away from cancer, and so I don't know if his channel is now just gonna be a just kind of a memorial, or whether his co-workers are gonna like carry on. But it's very sad because he was so in love with all of his snakes and lizards and little crocodile things. Were they crocodile? I don't know. They were very small. I can't imagine they were crocodiles. I don't know what small crocodiles are called. Snakes seem pretty chill depending on the individual. I know, I think... Oh, you know what snake I would never have this snake, okay? I wanna put the pre-warning here. I would never get a venomous snake because I don't trust myself to be able to correctly handle a venomous snake safely, and treat it properly. However, aren't king cobras just the cutest? They're so big and their faces are very cute. I think, I mean, hognoses are also very cute. But I've been seeing more king cobra stuff lately, and I'm like, whoa. Yikes! What do you mean? I would never get a king cobra. I would never get. I would never. But I think they're cute. I think they're very cute. I think a hognose. Can you own hognoses? Hognoses are very cute. Not really. Maybe consider domesticated pets. But no lizards are domesticated. Lizards, no, there is no reptile or amphibian that is domesticated. Corn snake is cute. Corn snakes are cute. That's true. What else? I don't know if I'd have like a bearded dragon or something. Some of those small burrowing snakes are pretty chill as far as snakes can be. I knew someone who had a corn snake once. I think it was literally called cornflake. I think that's what it was called. There's a sand snake with cute eyes. Geckos are fun. I think one of the only lizards I wouldn't consider having is probably a chameleon. I've heard that chameleons actually really hate humans. And while I think they're kind of interesting as a novelty, I don't think I would want one as a pet. But yeah, I've heard somewhere that chameleons just like never, like it's very, very rare that a chameleon will like positively associate with humans. Get a koala, those really... Isn't it really... like, aren't koalas carriers of so many diseases? I've heard really, like, terrible things about handling koalas. Also, I don't live in Australia. How would I get a koala? Either way, I probably... honestly, I will probably never actually have a pet. Also, I'm gonna put my bookmark back in my book. I'm probably not gonna read another... Yeah, I think I've heard the same thing. I'm pretty sure it was chlamydia that came from koalas. Which is... concerning, but, you know, leave them to it, I guess. Yeah, I like the idea of pets. But yeah, I probably will. I probably will never have one. Not just for myself. Although I did mention to Mum, I mentioned to Mum that if we ever end up with a foster cat that is like a big, soft, very like calm old Maine Coon, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to resist. I love Maine Coons, and if they're just like super chill and relaxed, then I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, that's mine. And a Maine Coon and Australian Shepherd, yeah. They're so, yeah, exactly. They're like massive. The other breed of cat that I really like are Norwegian forest cats. But the problem with those really is that because they're actually sort of hunting cats. All cats are hunters, but like very especially bred for hunting. They're very high energy, so it's not really good to like have them just kept indoors all the time. Like you really should probably have some kind of way that they can go outside safely. Those are also yeah. What can I say? I like big fluffy cats. That isn't to say that I don't like small cats and non-fluffy cats. I've never actually I can't remember what the bald cats are called. I've never actually come across one, but I don't think I would hate it. I'd just be like, hey buddy, you cold? Hunting cats are great, you get dead mice delivered to you for free. Misty was actually pretty. She wasn't specifically a hunting cat, but she was very good at killing random mice and rats and bringing them as presents while she was in the heyday of her life. Sphinx, yeah, that's it. Sphinx cats. Yeah, like I don't dislike them. It's just that I tend to really like big fluffy cats. But at the end of the day, most cats are just moggies. Just run-of-the-mill cats. I did grow up with a my grandparents had a Persian cat. He wasn't like show Persian standard. So his face wasn't entirely like perfectly flat. Which was good because it meant he didn't have breathing issues really. He did have like weepy eyes though. Persians are okay. Pepper was an interesting character though. He was very fluffy, but he also didn't really like being picked up very much. But also I was a child, so I think he avoided me because obviously he saw me while growing up. I bought more plushies, a 1.3 meter What? You're like that one meme image of the what is it? It's the picture of the guy where it's like me, my GF, the giant fluffy plushie that she bought from the Pokemon Center. The animals kept bring or to educate you in hunting most. Oh yeah, because they think you're just a dumb, big hairless kitten, don't they? Or something. Sometimes. No, for me, my pets are gonna be whatever is in the house with me because it's my mum's house. Devon Rex's. Oh, I've heard of these like curly cats, curly haired cats. Bugs. Yeah, my pets are actually the spiders that are in the cupboards around my room. I have many of them. However, if they leave their enclosure, the cupboards, they are threatened with death. I mean, I say that, but I actually haven't seen a spider in a while because it's been winter, which I've been very happy about. Very glad. Very thank you. No bugs. No bugs. But no, I like animals, but I'm just not a pet person. Have you heard of a reptile called... I've heard of it. Isn't that... Hold on. I have heard of it, but now I want to make sure I'm thinking of the right thing. Yeah! Yeah, no, I have seen this. Well, not in real life, but... So if one fed a freshly thawed mice, they might get the hint. I read like a bunch of tips at one point, that was like, oh, you know, you should feed your cat when you come home from work, like immediately when you come home from work, because that gives the impression that where you were out hunting and now you've brought back the food for them to eat. But I don't know how much that actually works, because I feel like a lot of people, the first thing they do is they come home and then they feed the cat, so I feel like there's some steps missing there. I know, I didn't realise that slow worms were actually in the UK. It's wild, I want to find one. Where are they? Oh, they're protected. I can't just grab one and take one home. Found through most of the country except for most Scottish Islands, Northern Ireland and most of the Channel Islands. Huh, so they're just meant to be across the country. I've never seen one. I want to see one. It favours compost heaps. Maybe the spiders froze. I mean, yeah, it's very cold. We are in the middle of a cold snap right now. I think it's gonna get warmer on Sunday again. But winter has only just started, so it will inevitably become cold again. And then you get a vacation. The cat thinks you become lazy. How many cats do you think got so confused back in like May, June 2020 when everyone got sent to work from home? They are also, like Snakes, very good at minding their own business, unseen. Sad. I think snakes and slow worms should recognize me as a friend and come and say hi. Purely letting her room get super cold probably makes the spiders move downstairs. Maybe so. Maybe so. Cause yeah, my room is freezing. Like orcas. No. I see if I was at the beach somehow. Like I wouldn't want orcas to suddenly come up to me and be like, "Hi." Like I wouldn't want that. Meanwhile, if I was on a boat and it sunk, I then would want the orcas to come so that they could rescue me. Meanwhile, snakes, I would want them to come out. Maybe not get too close to me, because you know it takes a while to Google, is this snake venomous or not? You know, just you know, hang out with me at a distance. Forcing animals to be their friend. Unfortunately, I don't actually have a very natural affinity with animals. You know how some people are just like, they have an aura that makes animals like them? I do not have that. I don't have one that makes animals hate me either, but I'm just a normal. I am neutral to most animals. Although that reminds me of a book I read a book once as a child that said that it was fiction. It was obviously not real, but it was about a girl who got lost in the woods, but she wanted to be like friends with the animals, and she was told that the reason that animals were afraid of humans were because humans could not let go of their shadows. and so she needed to leave her shadow behind, and then she would be accepted by various animals and stuff, and she would be free. I don't remember how that ends. I think she just goes home at the end. I think she just leaves her shadow in the woods. Could just be the smell. Oh, that makes animals really like certain people? Maybe. I will never know, as I do not. I am not one of those people. Alright. I think I'm gonna wrap up because it's late. It's like 3 AM. I'm tired. I mean, I say I'm tired. Puricent tweet? You mean the meme that was like the what like products do you use? What do you mean Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't think any of those things are make animals love me products. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna finish off. I do not know when I will be streaming next. Could be okay, that got proven wrong. The cream does not contain a chemical that makes the spiders horny, wolf spiders horny. I'm sorry, it was fake. I'm ignoring that. Okay. Bacon fat makes animals. I don't want to be eaten by animals. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know when next stream will be, but I will try and stream. Guaranteed though, guaranteed. I'm gonna be on Numbers' channel on Twitch. I mean, Numbers is live right now on YouTube, but I think Numbers always streams Sunday on Twitch. At 1 AM GMT, which is 8 PM EST, I think. Yeah, no, unbelievable. How could I say these words? Hello, Jolly. You should have just heard the chapter I just read. It was literally about sex. Like, Jesus Christ. I didn't. You know, I don't read these chapters in advance, so I always get. I literally just started reading the chapter as I was reading it out loud, and just like, oh, this chapter is about him sleeping with a prostitute. Oh, okay. Act normal, like normal, like normal, like normal. What was I saying? Yeah, collab with Numbers on Sunday night. We are playing Barotrauma. I don't know how it's gonna go. I mean, I'm terrified of jump scares. Numbers has a phobia of the ocean. We've both never played it before. It's not really a question of what could go wrong, it's more of a how much can go wrong, I think is going to be the real question. I won't spoil later chapters. Is there more sex in the book? Yes, Barotrauma on Sunday with Numbers. It is going to be real. Yeah, should be a fun time. I'm gonna play the tutorial in advance, and Numbers said that they're gonna do the same. So we'll both be tutorial pilled, but the rest of the game, nope. Just me, Numbers, and the deep, dark expanse of the ocean, and what lurks within. But yeah. thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate it. I'm glad we got another chapter read for the first time in 3 months. I will try and be more consistent. I promise. I will try and get back into the habit of doing these, but obviously I was ill, obviously, for a while. And you know what happened today? About an hour before stream, I took a sip. I took a sip of water and just immediately just breathed it, and then spent the next 10 minutes coughing wildly to the point that my mum even shouted up like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, just choking. It's fine." Yeah, thank you for coming by. But it was very much like, wow, I hope my throat didn't get destroyed by dying that. You just forgot you weren't aquatic. I know. Miss the drowning? It's not pleasant. Me coughing to try and breathe is not a pleasant ASMR experience. Used in the paratrauma stream. I'll consider choking on my. Well, actually, it might happen anyway. I might get jump scared in the middle of taking a drink and. God, I hope not. But yeah, let's pause this. Alright. Thank you for coming by. I hope you have a very good rest of your night, or if you're heading to bed, I hope you get some good rest. I also hope I get some good rest, because I didn't get very much sleep yesterday, but it's fine, whatever. Sleep well. Get something to eat, get something to drink. I don't remember what the rest of my stuff I say is. Onyasumi. Good night. Bye bye bye.